Hey, if you're watching this video right now, you probably followed a link from my Twitter feed. Thank you for watching. I initially planned to upload a video about the Best Actress race last week. Unfortunately, things didn't quite go as planned. There was more editing on the video than I'd expected to do, and as a result, the video itself was a little choppy in spots, and I wasn't fully comfortable uploading it. And even when I got to a point where I just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to throw this video online. The first time is never perfect. A lot of things had already changed. It had been several days since I'd made the original recording, and I just decided to make a video about Best Actress at another time. But right now, I'm going to talk about the Best Supporting Actress race, mostly because I feel more confident in my predictions here than I do in Best Actress. I feel like this race is taking shape a lot more quickly, a lot of times than it usually does. So, with that said, Best Supporting Actress, here we go. My top five for Best Supporting Actress right now consists of Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Felicity Jones for A Monster Calls, Nicole Kidman for Lion, and Kristen Stewart for Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Michelle Williams, Academy Award darling, three-time nominee. This will probably be her fourth nomination. The film came out of Sundance with great reviews. Looks like a possible Best Picture winner. Maybe it's a little not cinematic enough for the Academy, but it looks like it could be the one. I'm not 100% sure. But Michelle Williams apparently gets a great role. It's a small role, but it's a pivotal one. Apparently, she breaks your heart. And yeah, it could be her time just to win the Academy Award. Next up, I have Naomi Harris for Moonlight. She's playing the drug addict mother of one of the protagonists in the film. It's getting great reviews out of Toronto and I believe played Telluride. And A24 is in charge of this one. They did great things with both Ex Machina and Room last year. It's a film about the intersection between gender, race, and sexuality. I'm not 100% sure on the story, but again, great reviews, so I think this is going to happen. I think Harris and Williams are going to be the big contenders in the supporting actress race. But not too far behind them, I have Felicity Jones for A Monster Calls. She plays a mother who is dying of cancer, I believe, in this film about a boy who, to escape the family drama in his real life, retreats to a fantasy world that begins to come to actual life. And the trailer was great, good reviews out of Toronto. Focus Features is probably prioritizing Loving more than this one as far as the Oscars go. But if this one does well enough at the box office and continues to have the strong reviews, I think Jones will make this lineup, and I think she could be in contention to spoil for the win if Harris or Williams for some reason don't pan out. I have Nicole Kidman in there for Lion. It's the new Harvey Weinstein film about a boy who's searching for his birth mother. Nicole Kidman plays the adopted mother. Seems like kind of thing the Academy's going to go for in a huge way. Looks like Weinstein's big contender of the year. Nicole Kidman. This race is just coming together a lot more simply than I would have expected it to at this point. And last but not least, for my top five, I have Kristen Stewart for Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. She's been getting great ink with the critics over the last couple of years. I've always thought she was a strong actor, but it really has been over the last several years that she's built up her credibility. She's worked with Olivia Assayas twice now. She worked with Woody Allen earlier this year, and while that wasn't one of his best, it's still you're working with Woody Allen. And now she's working with Ang Lee on this film about a war hero who's coming home. And she gets apparently a couple of really strong monologue type scenes. Based on those who've read the book, she doesn't get a whole lot to do, but of course, book does not equal movie. And maybe she gets a little more to do here than we expect. And yeah, Kristen Stewart seems like it could be time for her to get that nomination. But of course, any Oscar race is never limited to the five who make the final cut. There's always a different story, a different narrative, something that's not in that top five that ultimately culminates in that top five. On Twitter earlier, I believe it was just last night, I speculated that Dakota and Elle Fanning could pull a Lynn and Vanessa Redgrave, except in the supporting category. I'm not 100% sure that's going to happen. I think Dakota would stand a better shot for her performance in American Pastoral, where she plays a young woman who gets swept up in a counterculture movement, much to the dismay of her parents. Elle Fanning is in 20th Century Women with Annette Bening and Greta Gerwig. That's a film where Fanning plays a young woman who's interested in the son of Annette Bening's character. And while that could be a strong role, I think Greta Gerwig probably has the better role for supporting, and Annette Bening, of course, will probably get the lead campaign. There's also Janelle Monáe for Hidden Figures. She also co-stars in Moonlight, but I think Naomi Harris is going to be the big contender to watch there. There's also Octavia Spencer in Hidden Figures. Of course, this is the film about the black women behind the mathematic calculations that helped NASA launch some of the first missions into space. And Taraji P. Henson heads the cast of that one. Picking between Monet and Spencer is difficult because Monet has the singer-turned-actor narrative, and Spencer is a previous winner of this category. I have Helen Mirren for Eye in the Sky. It was just announced a couple days ago that Bleecker Street is going to campaign everybody in supporting because it's more of an ensemble film and it just makes sense, at least from a campaign standpoint. Mirren is great in the film. Film got great reviews. It's the biggest hit for Bleecker Street domestically, from what I understand. And Helen Mirren could probably at least get a SAG nomination for this, if nothing else. I also have Asia Naomi King for The Birth of a Nation. It's Nate Parker's film about the slave rebellion led by Nat Turner. Great reviews for that film out of Sundance. Based on a lot of press that Nate Parker is getting, it's difficult to tell where this one's going to go as an Oscar contender, but it did get a standing ovation at Toronto after all the press stuff happened. So, who knows? I'm thinking it's going to at least get a lower tier Best Picture nomination, even if it falls out of major contention. But if the film is a huge contender, I think Asia Naomi King could get swept along for the ride. I have Molly Shannon on my list for Certain People. It's a film about a gay man who returns to his conservative family to take care of his dying mother. And Shannon plays the mother. She's getting great ink for this one. And Shannon's been a consistently strong actor for a while. I think she's been overlooked. And I think a group at least like SAG will feel the same way. Maybe some of the smaller critics groups will go for her as well, but I definitely think SAG could pull for her. There's also Collateral Beauty that stars the aforementioned Helen Mirren. You also got Keira Knightley and Naomi Harris in that one. Harris, of course, getting a lot of praise for her performance in Moonlight, Mirren for Eye in the Sky. Keira Knightley doesn't really have another contender out this year, and based on what I understand, she has the biggest female role in the film, so that probably works to her favor as well. As for whether or not this is going to be an Oscar contender, I'm not sure. I didn't even watch the trailer yet. I have Laura Dern listed for The Founder. This is one that was originally slated to come out during the thick of award season. Then it got pulled forward to August, and then it got bumped back to award season. This is another film from Harvey Weinstein, so we don't really know, I guess, if this is his big one. I think Lion is probably going to be his big film, but The Founder could be one, I guess. Laura Dern, of course, got in for a small part in Wild, and while I think she deserved the nomination, most of us weren't expecting it. So if she gets more to do in The Founder, I think she could be one to watch out for. I have Jennifer Aniston for The Yellow Birds. She plays the mother of a young soldier involved in the Iraq War. She didn't get in for Cake back in 2014, but she was probably very close. I imagine she was 6th or 7th in a very tight competitive race. And maybe for a film that isn't so focused on Aniston getting an awards nomination, she actually could get the nomination. I have Haley Bennett listed for both The Girl on the Train and The Magnificent Seven. The Girl on the Train is a film that I don't see going too many places. I think it could, but it seems to be falling out of the conversation. It was mainly talked about for Emily Blunt getting in, but as she is slipping further and further, I think the film in general is. The Magnificent Seven seems like it's more of a commercial thing, but if this is a breakout year for Haley Bennett, I think she could get in for it. I also have Rebecca Ferguson listed for The Girl on the Train, but like I said, that one's seeming to slip out of contention. I do have Laura Linney listed for Sully. I haven't seen the film yet. Based on what I understand, she doesn't get a whole lot to do. Maybe 10 minutes. But if this is a big Oscar contender and other people fall out, she might get in. Yeah, that's what I have to say about supporting actress right now. Let me know what you think in the comments or on Twitter. Let me know if I've forgotten somebody, or if there's somebody that you think we're all underestimating. Let me know, and I'll let you know what I think. Thanks for watching.